Damayan, hello? When I was 8, I found myself crying my eyes out at the Manila International Airport because my mother was about to board her flight, to go to the US. So my father, brother, and I were saying goodbye, and it was my first experience to be away from my mother. My name is Ria Ortiz. I was born and raised in Manila, Philippines. On Sundays, my father read the newspaper. I would read the newspaper with him. I was holding, the front page of the major newspaper in the Philippines called The Inquirer. And on the front page, bottom left, there was an article called Shattering the American Dream. And then I read the article. It talked about this former University of the Philippines student who was working as a domestic worker, had 2 kids, who were in college. The father was unemployed. And I was like, oh my God, this is my mother. And she used a pseudonym, but I knew that it was her. And then I just kept reading the article, flipped the page, and I was like, I never knew this was what she was experiencing. And she was just listing all the abuses that she was experiencing, as a domestic worker, which she would never ever tell us. When I hear census, the first thing that comes to my mind are US citizens, Americans, right? Typical Americans. And the community that I serve, aren't your typical Americans, right? So even when we look at the census figures, there are, depending on what website you're looking at, there are 2 million Filipinos in the US. And then we double that. So actually there are 4 million here. 2 million are undocumented. The numbers don't reflect our community. The demographic doesn't reflect our community. And our stories are not being told, which reflects to the resources, medical care, mental health care, right? Education, access to education, transportation. And these are the most basic things that other communities don't even think about because they have ready access to this, right? So much more for our community that's, highly at risk and highly marginalized. We have to be part of the census. We have to be counted.